Hey folks, and welcome back here to Ace Run Productions as we continue to bring you coverage of the 2023 Discraft Big Rip Classic presented by Ledgestone. We're out in Lumberton, Mississippi at the Eagles Landing Disc Golf Course. And once again, I am Dustin Murray. Once again, joining me is the Southeast Pro Masters player, Shane Seal, top 10 in the 2021 Pro Masters Worlds. How are you doing today, sir?
Great. Can't wait to see some great golf on just a beautiful course today.
Yeah, indeed. This course is a hybrid course, a little bit wooded on the first half, but then opens up, and lots of different challenges for our players as we take a look at who is going to be in our lead card for round number 2. Kicking things off is going to be, of course, Matt Orum, a.k.a. Matty O. Recently won the MVP Open. Also just always kind of in or near the top 10 in the world rankings.
Yep, we also have Chad Sherbert back on lead card today. Chad's made every one of these Big Rip tournaments and had the big win last year. Also here we have Kyle Gray, kind of a newcomer to the scene. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table today. I know he likes throwing a lot of really stable drivers and trying to keep it on the green and fairways.
And then we got Sylus Williams ending off our lead card here, just 15 years old, recently won Junior Worlds. Was a menace in MA1 for many years in the Southeast, but now stepping up to the pro plate and doing quite well as we get to hole number 1.
Yep, as we saw yesterday, kind of a variety of shots. We see some forehands, backhands on this. The real keys are just stay out of the rough. It's really punishing in there. Sometimes can be even worse than OBs. Players are trying to get just down here to the end, right before this pine tree on the left, make the turn, miss this solo pine tree here. You should be set up really well for the birdie putt.
Matty O shooting 11 down.
And our leader, Matty O, will be kicking things off, shooting a hot round yesterday at 11 under par. And then there was a bit of a log jam at 9 under par for a tie for second place. I believe 5 or 6 players were in the tie for second after round number 1. As Matty O will be looking to do a little bit of a baby flex here with the pine, kind of a slightly overstable mid-range.
Just outside circle 1 on there. The shape was good. Probably could use just a little bit more. We saw Chad yesterday throw kind of a shot that looked really good for the ace run there. So kind of that same idea here. Turnover, kind of get it deflects to flat and give that basket a real run. This one might be a little more turned than yesterday, but going to be a little bit there in front of Matt with, again, a good look at birdie to get his round started.
Here's a newcomer, again, Kyle Gray, coming out of Mississippi. 985 rated, has 4 career MPO wins so far. Kind of open bag player, but likes his Firebirds, which is what he's throwing on a forehand here.
Yeah, this forehand looks pretty good. Just inside the pine tree.
Kind of a rough roll, though.
Yeah, a little bit out to the edge of circle 1 there.
And now we got Sylus Williams, who actually threw the forehand in the first round, and looks like that's what he's lining up here again. Maybe some type of destroyer or something. But yanks it a little left. Kind of a similar mistake to the first round.
Yeah, he's been a little bit late on that release and getting that left side there.
Yeah, simple upshot, though, and he'll be able to tap in the par. And that's really the big thing. If you're going to miss, just making sure you don't get deep in the rough, you should be able to get up and down and at least make sure you don't take any damage. Matty getting the jumper out early in round number 2. Certainly well known for. Had a couple of highlight putts in the first round, and he doesn't waste any time here on hole 1 here.
Yeah, indeed. Doesn't waste any time at all.
Nice first birdie putt there for Kyle Gray as well, I must say.
Yeah, looked really comfortable there on that first putt. Sometimes, the camera can bring out some jitters, but he looked good on that first one.
Dude, everyone's hitting some pretty solid putts on the first hole. And that's great for building your confidence early in the round, just to hit a big one early.
Yeah, and this hole does play as our easiest hole here, as kind of the lead card shows, with 3 birdies of the 4 players on this hole.
So we're hitting double digits now on almost everyone on the lead card, so I'm sure we'll be there soon as we get into hole number 2.
Yep, here we are with, a par 3, 381, is looking like the real distance that this hole plays. It's uphill, so it plays a little further than is listed here. Rough on the left and the right. Players going to be trying to navigate these two trees. And as you indicated yesterday, got some, hard packed ground here, so you can get a little bit of ground play.
Yeah, a little bit of a bump and run if you can get on the slant is definitely a potential strategy on this hole. This is the honor from Matteo, kind of a slightly overstable 9-speed.
Just missed this one. Oh, does so.
Weird kick,
Circle's
though.
edge. Yeah. Didn't really get it. Well, it's a little uphill there, and I think the nose kind of dug in to that uphill turn.
Here's Chad. This looks like it may be burned over a little bit. Needs that to get out. And that's going to be tough.
A little overturned. Hopefully it didn't get too deep for him.
Didn't seem too bad, so he might be able to still get up and down for par from there as we get to Kyle Gray. Little inside. Good kick, though.
Yeah, good kick out to the edge there. May save him.
Imagine he'll have like a straddle out forehand pitch up for his par. Sylus kind of fouled that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like right next to each other, it seems like. And yeah, kind of as I expected, this is going to be the play they had left, but well done from Kyle.
Yep, good upshot there. Pretty aggressive there, but hits at the edge and kind of stays out.
It's a little bit of a backstop there. We'll give him some credit. So, Chad has like a little stepper Annie putt here.
Be good to see him hit that one. Oh, maybe he decides just to lay up there, or the angle just may have been a little more severe than we gave it credit for.
I mean, there's definitely roll away potential here, so I could certainly understand just making sure it lands softly and laying it up. So Matt's going to be a little right on that one. Have to settle for par here.
Second day in a row, that one's eluded him.
Yeah, he had a couple of putts miss early left yesterday. That was kind of the miss he was struggling with, but still overall had a good performance, obviously shooting 11 under, so I don't think there's too many complaints there. So you see everyone kind of clean it up.
Yeah, his driver, was pretty much fire all day yesterday, so if he gets that putter going today, these guys better get along for the ride if they're going to keep up.
Yeah, Matteo is certainly a man who's hard to stay on his heels, especially in the Southeast region. He is always dangerous playing in these tournaments, kind of in the Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi area, which he'll often do when he's not on the tour. Let's take a quick look at the leaderboard here. Matteo still a couple of strokes out in front, but his competitor's not too far behind. We'll pick up the action after the break.
TeamDiscraft.com. All the team favorites on one site.
Here we are, back in the action with hole number 3, staying in the woods.
Yeah, par 3, 313 feet. Really pretty much defined by just a straight shot down this right side. You may see the occasional forehander kind of flex one here around that pine tree we just passed off to the left and let it finish, but predominantly we're going to see a lot of backhands probably down this right side as our players try to kick, but they all parred the last hole, so I know they're going to really get a birdie here to kind of get their round going.
I like how these holes all have, these really defined fairways with really rough, but they all have slight variations, which makes the players kind of change up their throw just a touch, on each tee shot, as Matteo's going to go back to that same pond he threw on the first hole. As I know you were one of the guys who helped design some of these holes on this course, Shane, so I applaud you for, forcing players to make those little adjustments each hole.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, we saw Matt just really slide up there. Looks good. Chad here trying to work down that right side. A little less straight, but looks like he's going to have a shot. One of the things when you talk about the course design we were really trying to do was change the speed, the angles, and the type of disc that players are throwing just to keep them a little bit on their toes. As we see Kyle here throw up a little bit on that left side.
It's one of those things where on the surface I could say, okay, the first 3 holes are all somewhere between 300 and 330 feet, and they're all kind of wooded fairways. But again, you got elevation change you're dealing with on the hole we just watched on hole 2. Then this one again with the tree placement being slightly different than hole 1. It's just forcing different shot shapes, so it really, tests the full skill set of a player. And Sylus unfortunately came up a little bit short off the tee, but still has a chance to maybe hit a big jumper.
Thing he doesn't have is any fear. Oh, as he runs that one. Yeah, I'm looking for that putter to get heated up here for Sylus at some point, and just hold on to your seats when it does.
Yeah, definitely a very aggressive player. Has a nice step putt there from Kyle Gray. So he's been really hot with the putter. We'll run that one back. He hit a big one on hole 1 to get birdie, and he ups the ante on this one. Beautiful putt, right where it needs to be.
Yeah, just in the heart. Right side highs are coming in at the pole. Perfect putt. Again, just doesn't seem to have any nerves here as he's on this lead card camera.
And we got Chad with the straddle putt here well within the circle for his birdie. Putts with the Rhinos, I believe, which is kind of rare. Unfortunately, lets that one slip a little bit.
Yeah, he loves that R Rhino, and like you said, you don't see a lot of it, but it's done him really, really well in the past. Good putt there for Sylus to clean up.
Yep. Also, shout out to Emerald Queen Goddess for their support on helping this broadcast be possible. As we see Matteo there tapping in the birdie. Getting a stroke there on Chad. Kyle Gray, though, keeping himself within 2. So we head into hole number 4 with the race still pretty tight here within the front nine of our second round with our lead card. And I'm sure Chase Card is only a couple of strokes off as well. So we head off into hole 4.
Yep, hole 4 here, again, a similar distance, but yet again, a different shape. One of the things to note here is this hole plays a little uphill, which will kind of tend to have players throwing their disc nose up, but it needs to turn to the right. So you need to throw uphill, get your disc turned over to the right, nose down, and then it begins going back downhill here. So you have to get the speed control to stay on the green. So quite a few challenges faced by the players here on hole 4.
Yeah, again, similar to hole 1, but it's just different enough to, again, make things a little bit different, as we are going to see Matteo club up to a fairway driver here. This is the Maverick, a 7-speed, understable.
Really nice shot there by Matt.
Slides it right in the circle where he wants to be.
Perfect speed control. Looks like we got a forehand here from Kyle.
Yeah, probably that Firebird again that he threw from hole 1, but this one is yanked left, but at least on the edge.
Yeah, he should be able to get up and down from there. Definitely a better shot today by Chad here. Needs to slow down a little bit. That's that speed control I was talking about. Once it turns to downhill, really slowing your disc down there is important.
And I believe this is a Dark Rebel out of Sylus, which is kind of the old Discmania FD mold that Innova put back into production, I think, last year. So, again, sponsored by Innova, so that's the plastic he's throwing. Good up
Great
there.
Shot here by Kyle to kind of minimize any damage there that might have been lurking.
Sylus again eyeing down a big putt. Ooh, just flew it over.
Sits down, though. Should be able to clean that up.
This is a stepper opportunity for Chad. Yeah, like you said, the speed kind of put him in a longer range than he probably wanted.
Just off the cage there. I know he's disappointed with that one.
Yeah, especially since he missed kind of a putt he really should have had probably a previous hole ago. That also cost him a stroke. So you definitely don't want to give Matteo too much breathing room this early in a tournament. That's for sure. You want to stay hot on his heels as much as you can as Matt continues to collect birdies.
Yeah, it looks like putter's starting to heat up. These guys are going to have to match him early if they want to stay in the conversation.
So we'll just see the rest of the card clean things up here on hole number 4. Head into hole 5, where we'll, continue the trend of playing in the woods here, as Matteo's now grown his lead to 3 strokes over the closest competitor in Kyle Gray.
Yeah, hole 5 here, par 4, our first par 4 on the course, 455 feet, so not extremely long, but very technical. Players are going to be trying to throw a backhand probably to land somewhere here in this area by the rec tee. Then they have to navigate a much tighter corridor with some trees kind of interspersed throughout here that present some challenge to get down here for the birdie. So you can scramble, it's not too bad to scramble for the par, but the birdie, you really have to earn it, and it's usually here with the first shot.
Yeah, definitely want to get good placement, but also good penetration down the fairway as Matteo has that honor ripped on it yet again. But on the right-hand side of the fairway, is that a good look?
Yeah, that very similar to yesterday. He's sitting really nice.
Probably, again, Firebird again here from Kyle Gray. Seems to be one of his favorite go-tos.
A little hyzer trying to bring it back in. Oh, gets a little tree kick, but he's right there at the rec tee. Great position to try and capture the birdie. Chad with a similar line and is even a little bit past Kyle. Now, we saw Sylus yesterday really get up the fairway a long way, was jump putting. Let's see what he has today.
Yeah, I think he's throwing Halo Destroyer here, so he's kind of clubbing up compared to some of the other competitors throwing the fairways. And, yeah, again, huge bounce forward.
Yep. Just on the edge, but he should be in a really good position.
Great up there from Kyle. Maybe a little shorter than he wanted, but he navigated those trees quite well.
Yeah, love the line. Could have used just a little bit more speed, maybe.
Unfortunately, Chad's going to get caught up there on those trees.
A little bit of tough sledding here early.
Yeah, he's had a slower start than he's probably wanted. Matteo lives up to the disc name and peers it through some gaps there to get it up to the green. Probably not the path he was looking to travel, but he made it there nonetheless.
Yeah, his body language, I think, told us he missed his line a little bit, but better be lucky than good.
I'd like to be good.
Well,
Sorry.
I think we'd all like to be as good as Matt, for sure.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. As Chad going for a big putt here. He's got a clear look at the basket, but some length to it. Ooh! Nearly.
Yeah, let's see if Sylus can... Oh, okay, he's right on the edge. He still has a putt at this.
And he's hit it. Nice stepper there from Sylus. He has been hitting metal time and time again, but now he finally gets one to strike. We're going to run that back. Beautiful putt.
Oh, yeah, he was talking that one in the whole way. That's the one he might need right there to kind of get him going.
Well, that's definitely an adrenaline boost right there as he shows some love to Matteo and his caddy. It's causing miss his spot. Shout out to his caddy, by the way. That's JJ Campbell. He's also an MJ15 player at Worlds this past year. Actually finished pretty well. I think he was a top 20 finish there. So he's also tearing it up right now in the Mobile, Alabama area in MA1. So
Nice.
one for the future.
Guys.
Yep.
So see those guys hanging out. We saw Kyle there really kind of maybe his first mistake of the round, I would say. I mean, he's getting the par, but after his drive, he was really in a good place to capture the birdie. So
understandable as we take a look at the scoreboard. Everyone in the double digits, but Matteo starting to grow that lead. Back after the break. Keeping things wooded. And I feel like this is kind of the signature wooded hole of the course with the elevated basket. Why don't you talk me through it, Shane?
Yeah, here we are, hole 6, par 4, a very short par 4, 405. You might contest that it's maybe a par 3, but players really got to navigate a tight fairway. Then you have this pinch point here. We get to, opens up a little bit, navigate, so we could see an eagle in this hole, but yeah, I got a beautiful raised basket here to present a little bit more challenge on the green, so maybe we see an eagle, but we definitely should be seeing some birdies on this hole.
And Matty O going with the flow. And that is actually the name of the disc, but also going with the flow. Let's get it up there. Gonna give him a kind of a jumper look maybe at eagle.
Yeah, almost circles the edge right there.
Satisfied. First down. That's a beautiful shot. Oh, that's a not the worst of kicks.
No, he should be able to get the birdie from there. Al usually likes throwing some real stable discs. Let's see what he has here. Almost looks like a mid-range, just trying to keep it in the fairway.
Yeah, I think he went with a similar play to Sylus, who I think also was throwing like a J, I believe, is kind of his go-to mid-range. Mid here from Chad, too, I think.
On the left side.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah, it gets thick in here. Chad's going to try and find a way to punch out and get himself at least a look. A little turnover forehand, it looks like there.
Kind of playing some zigzag golf right now on the fairways. He'll be caught up on the right side rough now, but I don't think he's too deep in there, so he might still be able to pitch up for par.
Another turnover forehand here, trying to get it to flatten out as it comes into the basket. Slow down. Okay, those posts are not OB, so he's good inside the circle still for a birdie putt.
Yep. Going to be a lengthy one, but it is there. And yeah, Chad's not too caught up here. But again, I think the big issue for him is this slow start is allowing Matty O to just keep building his lead, because it's about to be 6 strokes over him.
Exactly. He's taking pars and Matty's taking birdies.
Yeah, Matty O already on a turkey run looking for his 4th birdie in a row here. Maybe even the bigger bird, the huge eagle, but...
Does he have a look?
He's trying to find one. He's certainly trying to see if it's possible.
Absolutely.
He's going to have to get flexible, though. And it's really how much do you want to run this? You still want to make sure you get your birdie. I respect it.
Oh, yeah. Great. You know, really kind of a safe run at the eagle there, but still guaranteeing the birdie. So no shame in that.
Not at all. A little high there from Kyle Gray, so we'll have to settle for par on this one.
Yeah, I know he's disappointed, but probably the drive is mostly what did it to him there, just out of position in the beginning.
And Chad able to, take the road less traveled by, but still winds up with the par. But again, 5 pars in a row, not the start you want here. But I'm sure he still has a chance to kick it up a notch the rest of the round, so we'll stay tuned for that. Matty O taps in a birdie here. That'll be 4 in a row.
Similar theme, though. Birdies are much better than pars.
True.
The rest of the card's going to have to step it up here.
Absolutely. Matty O starting to really create that separation. 6 off Chad, 5 off the other 2 players. So starting to snowball it a little bit here as we head into hole 7, where the scenes change a bit.
Yeah, this is where we get back out in the open, especially if there's wind here. This hole can be a little tougher than the distance would make you think. 398 feet, isn't really testing a lot of our players at this distance. It is open, kind of an elevated tee, exposed to the wind. The players are really going to be trying to avoid 2 things. 1, getting behind this tree to the left, and 2, going a little too far and kind of having that death putt looking back down the valley.
Yeah, that hillside that the basket sits on certainly can pose problems for putting. As Matty O going with the Dryv here out wide. Similar play to the previous round, but gets a lot more hyzer on it.
Well, this one's going to test him, though. How bad does he want that birdie? We'll see.
A Halo Destroyer here from Sylus going straight at it. Looks like there's a lot more windy conditions today compared to round 1.
Absolutely. You can really see the trees blowing there and seeing the jersey here on Kyle blowing. So a lot more wind. Now, he throws some stable discs, so should be able to fight it. Might be fighting it a little too much. He's got that tree to contend with we mentioned earlier.
It feels like a right-to-left crosswind's kind of getting these discs and pushing them more left than they're hoping for.
Oh yeah, we're watching Chad's here. That's exactly what's happening. So it's tough. You put it on hyzer, you finish hard left. You try and put a little ante on it, and then the wind steps on it. So
Yep.
tough challenge by the players.
Yeah, I think that's why Matteo swung his disc so wide. But oh no, that's such a dirty roll away. But that's the risk of this hole.
Yep, that's the one place, like we said, really can't be. Yep. Tough break there for Kyle, but I know he'll bounce back.
Yeah, this hole can get you, that's for sure. As Chad tries to float one in there, but again, it'll be at the par.
Yeah, great run at it, but like you said, pars versus birdies at this point.
I think this is one that you probably don't feel too bad about parring, though, just considering the challenge that it brings. I think he's laying up. Or, I don't know.
I would, given the situation, but
yep.
Yeah.
He's got a good lead
he's
building.
Also on tour. I'm not, so.
He's got a good thing going. I can understand not looking to give any strokes to the field on this.
Yep, hole played tough. We had 4 pars here today on this one. I think the wind, like we said, kind of just added a little bit more teeth to the hole, along with a kind of a fast green. Oh, bogey there. I forgot. By Kyle. Yeah, he had the bogey. Got caught up in those bushes.
Yeah, had that roll away. So that is going to cost him a stroke there. That's now Matteo 6 clear, Chad and Kyle 5 clear of Sylus as we head into the last couple of holes here on the front 9 of our second round. And we're off to a little bit of a downhill par 3 here.
Yeah, the 9th easiest hole kind of sits middle in the pack here, 323 feet. OB left, as you can see by the stakes, circling all the way around behind the basket and out to the right. Again, major issues faced by the players is going to be wind, right? So they're just trying to throw something out to the right, a fairway driver or stable mid-range, let it spike down as quickly as possible and get on the green. So the wind here can play a lot tougher, especially what we saw in the last hole.
I mean, the main challenge of this hole is distance control. You don't want to blow past the basket and go into the OB, as Matteo going with the Orbit Ati, a very overstable 9-speed. Trying to do what you said,
right.
Spiking it in there.
Control. Well done. Well done. Circle's edge. You can really see these trees starting to whip around here.
Oh, wind lifts that disc way up there. Needs to get down in a hurry.
Down.
Tree saved it, I think.
That was close. I think he's in bounds.
I believe so. Yeah, I think that tree knocking him down kind of helped him out.
Chad kind of looking around there, I think, wondering what the wind is doing. He hung it out wide enough. Is it a little long? Ooh. Oh, stays in bounds. It was just a little deep there coming in at the cameraman.
Also take note, this is a really well-manicured course. When we get on the Open, you're going to see the tall grass and the white states clearly define the OB, so it's really nice visuals. And so I always applaud the scenics here at Eagles Landing. Never been up there myself personally, but I can't wait to go out there one day and check it out. Looks beautiful.
Yeah, the grounds crew does a great job helping prep for the tournament, along with Michael Munn and all his staff. They really have it dressed up looking nice. That was a longer putt there. Yeah, that was a tough one, but he'll get his par.
And finally, the birdie strikes for Chad Sherbert. He's been hunting one down for a while. A little bit of a slow patch, but finally puts one on the board.
It really takes advantage of getting that tree love there and staying in bounds.
Oh, just low from Kyle. It's not committed. And that can happen in the wind, though, especially if you're putting into a headwind. Matt has the opposite problem.
Yep, just like I said, you can see out there on the water kind of moving. We're going to see a little bit more wind, and maybe some of these circle edge putts get a little bit tougher.
Now, so I'd like to give a quick shout out to Privet Dryv DGC for their support helping make the broadcast possible. We appreciate you out there. As we're wrapping up things here on hole 8, we got one hole left to go on this front 9 for our second round. As again, Matteo kind of sitting around that 5-stroke lead margin. And we'll finish things off after a short break.
At Discraft, we don't wait to see what the future holds. We build it. The future is in your hands.
Here we go. We've approached the levee of Eagles Landing to finish things off here on the front nine.
Yeah, here we are teeing off the top of the levee, like you said, with the wind. This hole gets pretty tough. We have all of the rough over here to the right again, kind of defined by those white stakes that you can see there. The real challenge is the green on this hole, because here you can see the basket's perched on the side of this levee, kind of a quicker green, so anything that hits here has some rollaway potential. So players have got to be really aware of the rollaway to OB on this hole.
Yeah, you're kind of just rolling the dice on this one. I feel like a lot of players are just kind of spiking a backhand into the hillside and just hoping that it lays down. But it could definitely get up and roll, as you said.
Yep. Sometimes we'll see players just play to the bottom of the hillside and just play for the uphill putt to minimize the roll, but Chad played that extremely well there.
Yeah, that was really well done as Matt playing it high and wide. Similar result, a little bit further from the basket.
Yep.
That's a scary putt, though.
Yeah, we saw Chad up top having to putt down it yesterday, so you're right. There are some scary putts on this hole.
Yeah, a little Halo Destroyer action here from Sylus, trying to...
It's got a little bit of an edge. I'm a little worried about... Oh, yep.
Goodbye.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
No, sir. That's an Oscar Bravo. That's tough.
That one's going to be tough.
You rarely see ones roll that far away and actually go out of bounds. Usually they settle somewhere on the bottom, so that's a really tough break.
Yeah, you'd be surprised here. Having got to play this course a lot, it happens more than you would think.
Right. Tough uphill putt there for Kyle Gray. Even the putt that Matteo has is tough because he's putting at it straight on with the slope left to right, so we'll see how that works out as Sylus has a very long putt he's going to have to hit to be able to save, a par on this hole.
Yeah, this would be an incredible par save, but these young guys, again, no fear a lot of times. Oh, this is even longer than I thought.
Oh my goodness! What a putt! We're definitely running that back. There was never a doubt in my mind we were going to see this one again. Holy cow! What a par save! I mean, as good as it gets.
Oh, the whole way. I know he wished that was for birdie, but that really ought to get him pumped up here as he's looking to head into the back nine.
Oh, I see you, Sylus. I see you. I see you. Yeah, That's two he's had this round. Tell us about it.
I think that's what he just said. That's two.
Yeah. And here's that dangerous putt Matteo's got. Needs to hit metal. Of course, if you do that, then it's no problem.
Safest place is in the basket, right?
Facts. As he's going to have a really special front nine here, considering the windy conditions. I believe he's, 6 down through 9? Something like that.
Kyle's played pretty solid. Just had a couple mistakes here and there that's kept him from scoring as good as he could have. Good birdie there from Chad.
Yep, after a slow patch through a lot of the front nine, he's finished it off with back-to-back birdies, so trying to keep himself in the hunt. Kyle has a little bit less of a dramatic par save than Sylus had, but nonetheless, make sure he cards the 3 as Matteo, indeed, 6 down through 9 to go 17 under par, put himself 5 strokes out in front of Chad Sherbert, and starting to create some separation from the rest of the lead card as well. So take a look at the leaderboard here. Ben Fulford and Johnny McRae certainly making some moves out there to try to see if they can make the final lead card. Joshua Catan also out there doing good work. The Bristers out there also in the mix with Christopher Downey out for Mobile in the top 10. And make sure, folks, if you're not already, please subscribe to Ace Run Productions out here on YouTube for future coverage. Also can follow them at Ace Run Pro out on Twitter and Instagram. Also, you can follow myself, Dustin Murray, at Follow Dustin on Instagram and Twitter. And on YouTube, it's Dustin Disc Golf. And what about you, Shane? Where can they find you?
You can find some of my disc golf, fishing, and other nonsense over on YouTube at Discraft Pro.
All right, well, I appreciate you joining me, Shane, and we will see you folks on the back nine of the second round, so be sure to tune in.